There we go. I'll figure out how to get that to you later.
Okay.
But it's recording now. So I'm going to start with just like a little presentation PowerPoint. This is our company Axia. I actually work for two companies. It's very normal for us to do that as guys, just full disclaimer. The reason is because you get a better deal with a certain banking setup. So I like to give you your options.
Okay.
So I'm kind of a broker in that sense. I'm different than most sales guys that just works for one company and tries to get you to sign up. So it's probably a good way to start with me like this if you're getting other quotes. But anyway, I'm going to jump into it. I'm going to share my screen, and here we go. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, great. So I'm going to begin this now. Hold on 1 second here. I'm going to get this. So this is from Axia. The reason I like Axia is if you were, sorry, 1 second. Why isn't it presenting? Here we go. Okay. So basically, I'm just going to take it through. I'm actually was started with roofing. That's how I know Joe, because I also work at J. Edwards doing roofing. And anyway, I was a home inspector. I stopped doing it because the juice wasn't worth the squeeze, and I was driving more than I was actually working. I got into solar like a year and a half ago. And I'd kind of just fallen in love with it. I was kind of what I want to do full time. And I'm probably going to be doing all the solar for J. Edwards as well. But I'm a local, I'm Floridian. So the reason why I like Axia itself is because they offer Q cells, which is the best product on the market. Q cells is the most advanced technologically. They have what's called microinverters. So you can actually, when you get the solar, you'd have an app and you can monitor each panel because it has the inverters on each one. It's not string inversion. Sometimes string inverters are better for you, but they are tied in with NFIN, and you're going right to the source with Axia. So I think that the pricing is better most of the time, but the product is more expensive. So you're paying for what you get. So the pricing is going to be very similar between the two companies, but this is, in my opinion, the best hardware that you're going to get on the market. I don't know if you're familiar. Are you pretty familiar with how solar works just in general?
Not really.
Okay.
Like I work for a company that does electrical, but we don't do anything solar.
Right. Yes. Because it can be confusing. In your scenario, it's pretty simple. I don't love this screen because it's actually kind of confusing looking, to be honest. I haven't seen this screen in a while. Um, Basically, you're paying right now for the utility company to generate power by either windmills, solar, or nuclear power. It gets transmitted through the power lines, goes to a distribution station, and then the distribution station sends them out to the houses, commercial buildings, houses which have electric cars, etc. Right? So it goes through all these channels, right? And that's why you're paying so much more. It's because everybody wants more of a piece of the pie. So they're going to want 20%. They're going to want 20%. So this is why you're seeing like next year, once the solar gets the tax credit goes away, we're predicting like an 8% increase in the bills. So your bill's going to go up even more. And they're talking, your bill's going to probably double in 10 years. So if you're paying 500 now, you're going to pay 1,000 in like 10 years, maybe even less than that. So it's pretty insane. That being said, this is just a simple way of explaining how solar works. Basically, obviously, we put panels on the house. Yeah. In this scenario, what's happening is you're going to be creating a lot of power during the day, and you're going to surpass the battery. There's not going to be a battery. Basically, these are inverters that are here, like where the number 2 is. And those inverters are going to convert DC power to AC power and send the power that's left over and not going into the house back to the grid, back to the transmission grid. And then at night, when you use all that power, you're cooking dinner, you're watching TV, you've got the AC running cooler, kids are playing, and all that stuff. That energy is saved and sent back to the grid. And that's what I was saying earlier on the phone, is that Duke isn't charging you to send you that power back. If you were OUC and some of the other companies, they're all starting to do what's called it's not one-to-one net metering. And one-to-one net metering means they're only charging you a fee for the meter. That's it. It's only $15 a month, or I think it might be $18 a month with Duke or something like that. That price isn't even considered into this price or the usage that I'm giving you. So it's a wash, because you would have to pay that either whether you had solar or not, right? So does that make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. I'll try not to be too long-winded here, but so the federal tax credit right now is obviously, it goes off your income taxes, and that's why I was asking earlier. Right now it's at 30%. So that's going to, I'll show you that later with the numbers. Right now, what's really cool is that there's another 30% clean energy credit, and it's for depreciation of the solar panels that they're given now. So that's why I really like working with Axia and Flow, my other company, because they're going to both honor that as well. It's an $800 charge for me to get you in touch if you want it with somebody. And they sort of coach you through that process, which I highly recommend. That can get added to the job, by the way. It doesn't have to be paid out of pocket. Because the thing of it is the CPA, they're not your CPA, but they're going to want to look at your income, and you have 5 years to redeem your tax credit. So let's say, I'm only using this, I have no idea what money you make, but if you make 50 grand and your withholdings are only 10,000 and you've got $20,000 worth of a tax credit, well, you'll have to get the tax credit back the following year, the other 10,000, right? But
Yep.
it shouldn't affect your payment, because you're getting that, you're going to apply that to your payment. So I'll discuss that when we're in the numbers, but I just want to let you know, when this says 30%, it's actually 60%.
Okay.
Almost a little less than 60. It's not quite 60, but so we're doing, everything is in-house with both these companies. So we're not like subbing out the work. As you know, if you're in the AC business and stuff, you know how that can be. Everything's insured with us. We're licensed. We have real installers. We're not trying to get it done for cheap. Main reason is because we have to put a big warranty on your roof. We have to do a production warranty, which ensures your system will generate a certain amount of power. If it doesn't, we have to fix it or compensate for your losses. So literally, if we say, hey, we're supposed to produce 90%, and we don't produce the 90%, you will get a check back from us by the end of the year, or at the end of the year, for the amount of money that you did not recoup on the offset.
Okay.
We also monitor your system. We proactively, because you're tied in with a loan with a bank, there's a check and balance where we proactively detect drops in energy production, because we don't want your energy production to be lower, right? We want to make sure that solar is working. We do have different cash purchases, zero down financing. It just depends, and we'll talk about that when we get to the financing. But if you're going to wind up paying it off in like a year, I have a different plan for you, right? That's going to be better for you. Focus on customer experience. That's pretty self-explanatory. So we're in, actually, this is from my other company. I'm sorry, we're not in 38 states. The Axia, which I kind of like, is actually just in Florida and California. That's the two states they want to be in, because they don't want to, they want to be in states that are productive. I'm going to also send you this PowerPoint like this part, for example, is kind of boring. Oops. But it's good to read through so you and your wife can go through it.
Okay.
I'm going to skip through this one. It's just kind of like testimonial stuff. We're kind of repeating ourselves there. But there's a lot of myths about solar, so I just want to go through that a little bit with you. Your new solar panel will replace, so you're going to be having a bill from your utility company always, even if you have solar, but we're trying to get it to where it's only that $18 metering bill. There's no way of really getting around that because that's the utility company wants your money for that meter to run. So that's always going to be a cost whether you have solar or not. Premium insurance, that's a myth because with you, you're going to need to carry a $250 a year if you want the system that would 100% offset you. It's $250 more a year to carry that umbrella policy, and it covers basically for our installers or if anybody goes on the roof, but you can actually cancel it if you want to. You don't have to keep it, but most people do because it's only $250 a year and you're saving way more than that on the solar anyway. So yes, to be honest, like you technically are paying more for insurance, but if you didn't have the solar, you'd be paying way more to the utility company. Sorry about that. So I'm just going to show you. Sorry about this. Sorry about that. My bad. This is just a little video I like to show everybody because this is another big misconception is that what's going to happen to the panels or what's happens to the roof after a hurricane. So I'm just going to play this real quick. It's short.
All the time, every single time I meet with a homeowner, they want to know what's going to happen when the wind gets strong. The strength of the solar system is actually superior to the strength of a Florida roof with an up-to-code hurricane strap. So they don't blow up. And there has been tons and tons of instances where people have had their roofs saved because the solar system is actually locking it down.
Yeah. So basically that was an area up in like the Panhandle. I think it was Hurricane Michael, where there's like an Air Force base or a military base of some sort up there, and they put all the solar panels up there. And if you could see, all those roof bases were almost all intact, the ones that had solar, because those solar panels are drilled into the trusses. This is another, just a little video about the durability of the panels. If you have hail and stuff like that, people have a lot of questions. So it's another short vid. Yeah, so you get the idea. It's they're really made well now, and they're not because panels themselves. Really, there's not a lot of technology in solar. It's really in the inverters. Is what you're. Oops. Gosh, I'm messing this up. Sorry about that.
All right.
So anyway, the process of the whole entire setup with solar is pretty simple. But what happens if you decide to go is that you got to qualify. It's like a soft pull of your credit, which allows you to schedule an evaluation of property. They send a site surveyor out there to make sure you can do it. And then in that site survey, they check the orientation of the roof, they measure everything, they get in your attic, they make sure your electrical panel is up to par for the system, how old's your house?
2004.
Okay, yeah. So I know you're up to date because it's probably a 200 amp panel you've got, right?
I'm not really sure.
I think it probably is. There's a direct technicians that come install. And then, we kind of have to wait for PTO, which has been a pain lately, but as long as you're installed before the end of the year, you're good to go. But we are on like a month to 2 month. We're really telling people, hey, by the 10th, that's only in 8 days. We got to get you signed up because we're thinking that we might be a little backed up just because we're starting to get busy with all these people that want it now. It's like the Tesla. When we went to buy it, we got so lucky. The guy goes, "You don't understand. This is the best color, but you got to go to Claremont to get your car because everyone's buying the cars." When I went back, there was an issue with the car, and I was like, "So, aren't you busy? Thanks for helping me." And he goes, "Dude, we have no cars left." Because everybody took advantage. So that's kind of what's going on right now. But anyway, we do have to wait sometimes for PTO because the utility company drags their feet and we're at the mercy of them. That's the only thing I tell people every time is that we have no control over it. We can do what we can, but they'll wait like 20 days to turn it on when all they have to do is turn it on. It's like, that's just another way for them to keep squeezing the money out of you.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much it for like the PowerPoint. And so I'll get straight to the numbers so I can show you what I came up with for you. And let me just move that. All right. So I'm going to go through this whole thing. And what I did is I put your kilowatt hours per year in here. And basically what that says is your average monthly bill is like $493 right now. Remember, that's pre-fees. There's other fees in there. You're probably paying more like $600, like you said, with fees, all the nonsense that's in your bill. This is just energy that you're averaging per year, $493. So if you have a pen, I mean, I'm going to send it to you, but you may want to just write down what you're paying now is $493 plus fees. So I'm going to so later when I show you the numbers, I can show you what we're doing here. This is what I came up with for your system. And I think that this is pretty close. This is pretty darn close. It's pretty simple, right? Because when I pull what's called a radiance, I'm going to show this to you. I don't want to put panels over here too much because you're not getting a lot of sun power. All this bright yellow is what you're going to get sun power on. So
Okay.
I stacked all the panels on this side of the house. And this is kind of what it would look like. Now, this isn't perfect because honestly, I think that we can get one more panel over here when the site surveyor comes and only put 3 on the other side. Because I think one more of these is going to be almost worth 2 of those, if that makes sense. So it might change the price a little bit. If anything, it would go down in the price because we'd be getting 2 panels off and putting 1 here. So it's less panels, less price. So that's kind of why I set your offset to 98% right here. You see that on the top?
Mm-hmm.
Because I think we're going to get a better offset than that. And I have enough time, but I also was thinking about trying to redesign it myself and put the panels the other way where they're like horizontal.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't done that yet, but I will when I have time because it's going to take me another like half hour to do that.
Okay.
I may be able to squeeze more panels. It just depends. But maybe not. Battery, we're skipping that because there's no battery. So this is pretty much it. Like that's what the system would look like. We're looking like it's, I think it's 49 panels. Yeah, 49 panels. So right now, you're paying $490. What did I say it was? $493?
$493.
Yeah, right out of the gate, you're saving $60-something a month. Plus the fees. So you're saving more like 110, I think, a month. Something like that. It should be when you go solar with this setup. Now this is, oh, I'm sorry. So now That is with a lease. Okay. So this means you don't have to worry about the tax credit because the bank is taking the tax credit. So this is if you lease the panels.
Okay.
Leasing is not my favorite thing in the world to do because you don't own the panels. The bank and the solar company owns the panels until you pay it off or you sell the house after 5 years. But if you're saying you're going to be in the house for 25 years, it could be a good option. But if you think you're going to sell the house after the kids go to college and stuff and downgrade or upgrade whatever you're doing, do not go with the lease. Okay. That's important. I mean, it's not the end of the world. You could still sell the house in 3 years, but you would have the person that buys the house would have to take on this payment. It's still going to be lower than the utility bill though.
Yeah.
Right. So that's that option. Now see what you're paying almost 20 grand more over the whole term by doing the lease. So that's kind of why I wanted to if I were you, I would just finance it. Now, here's a big question for you. Do you think if it's like it's 7 months, I'm sorry, do you think in like a few years from now, if you only had to pay like 25 grand, that you would just pay it off if there was no penalty?
I don't know. What do you mean? So after,
Yeah. So, I'll tell you what. Let me show you something really quick to show you what I mean. Because that was the lease and this is the finance. Ignore this 570, please. Don't worry about that.
all right.
Because that's going to be off of this amount. That's pre-tax credit. Okay. So this is what this looks like when you're financing. Now, this is a 30-year loan at 11.9%. But the reason I did this for you is because a couple reasons. There's no penalty to pay it off. Number one. Number two, you don't pay anything for 6 months. Nothing. You're just paying that $18 utility bill until you get to file your taxes and take the tax credit. So once you start making that payment, the payment will be 570 if you put the tax credit money in your pocket, which would be up here on the right. That's how much your tax credit is, 17,690. So 18 grand. You can either keep the 18 grand in your pocket and make the 570 payment, or you can apply that 18,000 to it and your payment would be more like it'd be in the low 400s. So the reason why I'm giving you these options is because it depends on if you're going to pay it off. And if you're going to pay it off, it's awesome because you don't pay anything for 6 months, no prepayment penalty. So you're paying the bank pretty much nothing. There's no dealer fees, nothing. So it's a decision that you're making. You see what I'm getting at now? Like if you wanted to come out pocket the 25, a lot of people don't want to do that because they've got their money in the market and they want to leave it in there, and they rather, because you're paying about the same as you're still paying less probably than what you're paying right now, but you're keeping $18,000.
Right.
So that's all up to you. It's just I'm like your guide on like which way you're going to go. And then I have one more bet, which I think sometimes is a better deal. So does that make sense to you? These two different pay plans?
Yes.
Okay. Now, I'm going to show you this. This is also you. I put together something for you because I wanted to show you this might be a better deal. Yeah. So Final PPC. See how there's zero dealer fees. Now this is a 30-year at 8%. It's about the same. It's about the same.
Yeah.
The only reason I like the other one better is I think the product is a little bit better. But just showing you another proposal. This is all kind of fluff. I already took you through it. This one is a bigger system with a lot more offset, though. I can change that. You see how it's 102%? Your other one was only at 99.
Yep.
And you got 102% offset. And this is what your payments would look like. Actually, it's $400 a month if you apply it. You have month 1 through 6 is 0. Month 7 through 360 is 400. Because I set you up with a bigger system, it's $22,000 tax credit. And your net system price is $52,000. So this is actually a better deal. Now, I'm going to send you this right now so you have it in your email, and I'm going to text it to you. But
Okay.
this is a great thing to look at right here. When you scroll down, I don't know why it says this. Your payment's actually more than that. So basically, all in, this is your savings over the 25 years is $100,000.
Okay.
Same deal, site survey. All these companies, they're all tied in. They're W-2 installers. We're not like cutting any corners. There's no way we can. The bank has us kind of checked and balanced. The misconception of solar is that the problem, I think a lot of it, just to kind of bring up another objection, is that most people are trying to make more money, the salespeople, and they can change the numbers. So I could have made it to where it's just exactly what you're paying, and you'll still save money because those utility fees are going to go up. But I like to price it pretty reasonable. This is very standard pricing. You're basically saving over about $100 a month over 25. It's going to get more. It's going to be more than that. It's going to turn into like $300 a month in like 10 years.
Yeah.
So it's time to do it for sure. Not to pressure you. I know you got to talk to your wife and everything, but it's definitely it's time sensitive. I'm not trying to use it as a sales tactic. It's just the truth. Now, this being said, remember when you're looking at this number, by the way, I'm going to send you 3 proposals, the 2 from the other company and this one. So you'll get all.
Okay.
But just remember when you're looking at this, I'll try to send you. I didn't have time to do it again. There's a rate escalation table. And in that rate escalation table, they're only considering that your utility bill is going to go up 5%. That's not going to happen. It's going to be like 8%. So this 90 grand is going to, I'm telling you, is more like 150,000 in savings over the time period.
Okay.
So just remember that. And then remember that you have there's another $20,000 coming off the system for a depreciation credit. It's called a solar panel depreciation credit. I'm also going to send you that via text. And that's something that they have to do after, when you're filing your taxes. And the guys that do this are great. They're going to consolidate for you. So you're looking at like a $40,000 tax credit. So your total out of pocket for the system is like 25, 30. It's between 25 and 30 grand, I think.
Yeah.
It's killer. I mean, you're paying only 40% of what that 4 grand is. So whatever that is, what's 40% of 75,000?
time.
So you're paying 30. Well, I'm sorry, I had that wrong. You're paying around 30 grand for the whole system because of the tax credits.
All right. And how that tax credit works is once we get that tax credit back next year, we just
You do it
put
through
it back into.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
So if we apply the tax credit, do we just wait till next year and put that money towards it or towards the principal next year?
Yes. You'll have a
Okay.
CPA. There's a form that they know about. You've got to use your CPA. I don't do like a TurboTax or something, pay for the CPA because it's worth getting somebody. And then that's why I'll get you in touch with the person that talks to you about the ITC is what it's called. So the improvement tax credit, that's what that is. So once you get to that point where you're filing, which I would file right away when you can, although it doesn't matter because you're making no payments for 6 months on the plan. So, but when you get to that point, they'll explain it to you. They'll fill out a form and they're going to send it to the solar company. And you'll have that contact information, and the loan and everything will fix itself when you apply it to the loan, or you keep it. And it's up to you. But I don't know. It's an 8% loan, so I wouldn't keep it.
Is that $400 after the payment's been or the tax credit's been applied, or is that
the 30%, but not the second one?
All right, so it will actually be lower than that.
Yes.
All right.
But if you got to remember though, it's the withholdings. So you may only be able to do 30% of it for next year, and then you have to apply the following, and it goes down. You can apply it
Gotcha.
loan as you go, or sometimes if you're like, well, it might be advantageous of you to actually do your taxes quarterly until you get all your tax credit money. Some people do that too. I know it's a lot of stuff. It's a little complicated, but that's why the CPA will guide you. And if you have a CPA that's like weird about it, we can advise you on a CPA.
Okay.
Some CPAs, this is a big thing I forgot to mention. Be careful because some CPAs don't want to do the work. So just be aware of that.
Okay.
Let me get back to me. But yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. When we get off the call here, I'm gonna send you all 3 of those, and then I'm gonna text you the ITC stuff. And there's some YouTube videos on it that you can watch, and it's legit for that extra 30%. But remember, these are things you're going to be doing like in February of next year.
Yeah.
So this is why they're giving you that 6 months, is to to just get ready for that. Then yeah, if you don't do it, your payment's like $575, but it's still the same. It's still probably less than what you're paying right now, even if you had no tax credits.
Right.
Of course, it wouldn't be really worth it because then you got hardware on your system. But so you want to file the tax credits, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because now it's going to take, they say, another year or two for solar to actually go down in price to compensate for these tax credits. So solar will be not really an option for most people for a while. After December 31st. So that's pretty much it. I hope that was I know explaining it for the first time, everybody's different. So do you have any questions for me?
I don't right now. Once I talk to her later, and if anything comes up, I'll definitely shoot you a text and see if you can figure out what you need to.
Yeah, I will. I will sometimes. I've been doing it a little while, but I sometimes forget things because there's a lot of moving parts to it. But at the end of the day, once it's up there, you have nothing to think about, really. It's just you're monitoring it. You can look at it. You'll get a message if it's not producing. If you get a bill that's outlandish, that's what's crazy is sometimes like in January, you might get a bill, but then at the end of the year, you might get a check back.
Yeah.
But that's the only thing that's kind of a little weird about solar, but you can always, the app's really good. You can always check and see what's going on with it, or call, and customer support with both companies is great. So,
Okay.
but yeah, that's pretty much it. And then if you wanted to, you got that extra EV, you know, if you decided, man, I might want to add a couple panels, but you know, the other one I put 102, that would probably be fine.
Yeah.
So take a look, that's why I did that. You know, put them all apples to apples and collect data yourself. And, you know, there's going to be a little bit of groundwork for you. But I'm here to make it easy for you. If you have questions and you're racking your brain, just text me. I'm always available because I pretty much work from home with this.
Okay.
But I would like to come over if you're serious and you want to move forward. I'll come over right away because I got to get some photos of the electrical box. How old's the roof, by the way?
I was just talking to Joe about that. I'm pretty sure it's 2017 or 2018, so it is 7 or 8 years old.
You should be.
Yeah.
But let's just make sure you have good insurance. Did Joe talk to you about your insurance on your roof? Did he recommend a carrier or anything for you?
No.
Do you know who you have?
My brother-in-law is an insurance broker, so we go through him.
Oh, okay. Find out who you have and let your brother know you're interested in doing solar, and he'll tell you that
Okay.
it's not that much of an increase. And then you just got to get your your umbrella insurance, which is $250 a year. We can
Okay.
wrap that in the deal too. We do it all the time because it's only, but I don't know, it's $250. So,
Okay.
but yeah, otherwise I'll send you these emails, and if I don't hear from you, maybe I'll follow up with you next week, Monday. If you want, I can come over. I'll tell you what, let's do this since time's of the essence. Why don't you let your wife look at everything, gather some questions for me. Let's just try to meet. I'll come over next time so I can meet you guys in person, and like maybe next week.
Okay.
If that works for
Should
you.
be fun. Yeah. Let me talk to her and we'll figure something out.
And I can run, if you got like a newer TV, I can just mirror screen and do the presentation a little bit with your wife. She needs it too. So
Okay.
cool. All right. Well, thanks. Hopefully I'll be talking to you soon.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you.
Take care.